Joining us right now on the phone is Texas Senator Ted Cruz. Senator, thank you so much for being with us. Obviously, you're watching this unfold as we watch it unfold. What is the state of Texas doing right now to respond?
Well, Mike, it is good to be with you. Yes, this is a horrifying natural disaster. The flooding we're seeing in Houston is unprecedented. It is devastating. It follows devastating damage we've seen up and down the Gulf Coast, from Corpus Christi to Victoria to Rockport. A great many communities on the Gulf Coast are hurting, and as you know, Harvey is expected to stay here and continue to dump massive levels of rain, which is going to only exacerbate the flooding. State officials, local officials, federal officials are all concentrating primarily on rescues right now. Just in the city of Houston, there are over 2,000 high water rescues that are ongoing. There are a lot of people who are in distress that are seeing floodwaters rise, and so one of the things I've been working on for much of the day is trying to mobilize additional resources, additional boats, additional helicopters, high water trucks, so that we have the capacity to provide the help to those whose lives and families are being threatened right now.
Senator, have you been in contact with FEMA or even with the White House? What can be done? Can you get resources pulled in from neighboring states and get some folks here that need help?
Yeah, so I've spent much of the day speaking with the mayor here in Houston, the county judge in Houston, county judge in Galveston, in Brazoria, and asking, all right, what are the challenges? The number one challenge that the local officials are telling me is we need additional assets for high water rescues, that we have a substantial number deployed, but the need is even greater than the capacity. I just got off the phone 20 minutes ago with Governor Abbott, who the state has deployed 60 boats to the Houston area and 20 helicopters. They've sent about 500 DPS troopers to Houston and have mobilized a total of about 3,000 National Guards. I've had conversations today with FEMA leadership about mobilizing federal assets to get additional boats on the ground or on the water, additional trucks, additional helicopters. And then we're seeing from across the country, 10 different states have already provided resources. We're really seeing an outpouring of help, but this is an active crisis situation, and the need is unfortunately only going to continue to grow, because the projections are we may not even be halfway through the rainfall that is going to fall in this region.
Yeah, exactly right. And Senator, I want to ask you, and this, I know that the need is today, obviously, and the loss of life, we hope we can keep to a minimum by getting some resources here to rescue people. But then you think about people that may be out of their homes. Any discussion
Sure.
with the folks that you've talked to today about where you're going to put everybody? How do we house these folks that are displaced?
Absolutely, and that's one of the many challenges that we're facing. The mayor's opened up the George R. Brown Convention Center in downtown Houston as an emergency relief center. The Red Cross is standing up facilities and providing. I've been talking with the leadership of the Red Cross to provide housing and homes. And one of the things that always happens in the face of a natural disaster is that you see Texans coming together and helping fellow Texans. It's something, we're a big enough state that tragically we see quite a bit of natural disasters across the state. And every time that, whether it's flooding or hurricanes or tornadoes or fires, what we see is Texans helping their neighbors. We see a lot of people that are going and staying with family or friends in different parts of the state. And we're also seeing in the Houston and Galveston areas, calls have come out to people, private citizens with flat-bottom boats. If you can assist in rescues, the local officials have called for that. And so we're seeing people doing exactly that. The Red Cross always does an amazing job. So for folks who are watching, who are not in Texas, who want to help out, I'd encourage you to go to the Red Cross website, sign up to volunteer, and assist and stand together. And then there's going to be, after the disaster is over, there's going to be the long process of rebuilding, as a great many families have lost their homes or their cars or their possessions. But right now the priority is preserving life and getting people out of life-threatening situations.
Mm-hmm. Senator, what does it tell you about the true resiliency in the heart of Texas when you see everyday folks come out with their boats or with their trucks just to help somebody, somebody they may not even know, to get them out of harm's way?
Well, it's inspirational. It reminds us that you know, at a time when there are issues in politics and other things that divide us, that there's a lot more that unites us, and it is powerful to see Texans coming together and see people across the country pitching in to help. I mean, that's really, as Americans, we stand together in times of crisis, and we saw that in September 11. We saw that, we've seen that over and over again in the wake of natural disasters, and we're seeing it now. And so I will say, Texans, we appreciate the prayers from people all across the country, and we appreciate the incredible outpouring of help and assistance we're seeing right now.
Senator, I have to say, very well put. Thank you so much for being with us here this afternoon in very, very difficult times. Thank you for the information, and best of luck to you here in Texas, because we know we have got a very long way to go.